I'm talking to Jill Fleming, who's Director of Absolute Corporate Events and is the Chairman of the HBAA's Events Committee. So Jill, the events that you organise, they're the landmarks for our year, aren't they? How do you go about finding the venues?
It's a tough one. We are very led by size these days, especially for the two main events, both the annual forum in September and the annual dinner in January. Our numbers have grown upwards of 350 to 400 people, so size really is the main issue. And with that, we try and find something which is a good location, something which is new or has recently been refurbished that people would be interested in seeing and can then bring the place more business, change people's perceptions on it. And of course, budget always comes into play as well.
I'm sure it does. Everything comes down to budget, doesn't it?
It does.
And are the venues clamouring to have you there?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. We usually get a few people who are quite keen at the beginning, but once you actually tell them the size of the event, then it usually rules quite a few people out. We do have occasions with the golf day and the CEO dinners. We usually have quite a few people who are keen because there are more venues who can hold those events. But like I say, with the forum, there is it's quite a detailed brief for that now, with the number of breakout rooms and the breakout space for networking and the main event itself. Then we really are coming down to only being able to use a few places across the UK.
Now, the CEO dinners, how do they work?
They are a very structured evening. They are targeted at both agents, event management companies, CEOs, and also the chief execs from within the hotel groups as well. The conversation is very much led by the HBA chair on the evening, and we like to find out people's thoughts on what's happening within the industry, what's new, what's going to happen, what's happened that was great or what's happened that wasn't so great, and how we think the future is going to happen for everyone within our industry.
Mm-hmm. And the golf day. Now, I don't golf, so tell me about that.
I don't golf either, but it's still a marvellous day. The golf day is really just a day for having fun. From a sales perspective, from a business perspective, nowhere else can you go and spend a full 8-12 hours with people who are your clients. You get to spend some really good one-to-one time with them. You get to fly around a golf course in a buggy, whether you're a golfer or not. Hopefully it's a nice day, and we have changed it last year from the end of the year, when it was I believe a very cold and wet October day, until last year we moved it into June, and the sun was shining on us and everyone had a fabulous time. And even for the non-golfers, there were lots of ladies and gentlemen who didn't play golf, who spent the day relaxing in the spa. There were hotel salespeople, there were agents mixing, and just being friends and making friends. And that's really what our industry is all about. You tend to do business with people who are your friends.
One question I'm asked is, how important is location for the forum and for the dinner particularly, in terms of London or the regions?
I think it's important that we take a lot of events outside of London. The annual dinner, I believe, should be in London. I've always believed that. I think it's nice for everyone to have an excuse of spending a weekend here. London is also a good location for everyone around the UK to get to, regardless of the weather in January, whether that be by public transport or by car. The forum, on the other hand, is always a good excuse to get everyone who's based in London out of London, to show them that there is other parts of the country there. And certainly for the last few years, we've been to the Midlands, we've been to Manchester, and we're hoping to continue that theme and keep it out of London for this year as well. But the dinner, I do think, is very important to have it happening in London. It is our capital city, and it is a very important event.
Sure, and of course there's a lot of venues in London that can take that
Absolutely.
size of function.
Size-wise, we do have much more choice in and around London. Really, within the M25, we've got a lot more choice by bringing it further south.
Each year we try and raise money for charity, and a lot of that fundraising happens at your events. Do you see it as an important part of those events?
Absolutely. I think as a small association, relatively small association like we are, we can make a huge difference to any size of charity. For example, in January this year, we raised over £24,000 for Wheel Power. Over the years, where we've been associated with other charities, we've raised many tens of thousands, and we've made a real difference. Plus, it's a lot of fun. The online auction goes for about a month or so before the event. It builds a lot of interest in the event itself, and people do have great fun trying to outbid each other to win prizes. We see some fabulous generosity both before and during the annual dinner from everyone, agents, venues, everyone alike, donating fabulous prizes and prizes that you couldn't normally buy just by going and booking into a hotel. We have some great experiences and people have a whole lot of fun. I think by removing that, we would take away a lot of what the annual dinner is all about and the essence that we're there to share, but we're there to care as well.
So what do you get in Absolute Corporate Events from the HBAA?
What we at Absolute Corporate Events get from our membership with the HBAA is a sense of community, a sense of belonging. It's nice to know that you're not the only ones out there. We also get, we've certainly gained a lot of exposure to the larger hotel groups and the venues out there, which as a small agency we perhaps wouldn't normally get on our own. And a soundboard. We get to know what's happening, we get to know what other people think, and also if you do have any problems or any fabulous successes, you can share them with people and you can find out what they think of it and how they think you should react to those.
Every week in your business year, you're organising events for your clients, for organisations, for businesses, and then you do it for the HBA as well. Is the HBA the client from hell? Sometimes,
yes. I must admit the biggest learning curve for me personally has been learning to organise by committee and wait for decisions to be made, and that's something that I'm not used to doing because normally with corporate clients you're speaking with one or two people and you're getting from them exactly what they want. However, that's been a good learning curve for me, and also probably the trickiest thing is trying to impress everybody. I'm organising events for people who organise events for a living, so they know what the newest thing is out there, they know what's going to make their clients wow. We do tend to work under the assumption that we have a very easy audience to please and a very difficult audience to impress, and that's what we're always striving to do.
Well, I look forward to this year's event. Jill, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.